A violent storm causes a Universal Dynamics cargo ship to lose its shipment of ROZZUM robots, scattering them into the ocean. The machines wash ashore on a remote, uninhabited island, where only one unit survives, ROZZUM Unit 7134, nicknamed Roz. Initially deactivated, she is accidentally powered on by curious wildlife. Confused and alone, Roz tries to interact with the island's animals, but her mechanical presence terrifies them. Despite learning their language to communicate, her attempts to help only result in accidents. She frightens creatures away and even injures herself in the process. Realizing there is no one on the island who needs her services, she sends a retrieval signal. However, before rescue can arrive, disaster strikes. Lightning damages her systems, and panicked animals attack her. While fleeing Thorn, a hostile grizzly bear, Roz stumbles into a goose nest, crushing it. Tragically, all the birds and eggs are destroyed, except for one surviving egg. This accident marks a turning point for Roz, who now faces a new responsibility, protecting the last remaining life in her care. Stranded and damaged, she must adapt to the wild, learning what it truly means to be needed. After the tragic accident that destroyed a goose nest, Roz, the lone surviving ROZZUM robot, vows to protect the last remaining egg. When a cunning fox named Fink tries to steal it, she fiercely defends it, proving her determination. Soon, the egg hatches, and the newborn gosling immediately imprints on Roz, seeing her as his mother. In his excitement, the gosling accidentally damages Roz's long-range transponder, cutting off her last hope of immediate rescue. Seeking guidance, Roz meets Pinktail, a wise opossum with many offspring, who advises her to raise the gosling until he is strong enough to fly before winter migration. Roz embraces this unexpected role, naming the gosling Brightbill. Meanwhile, Fink the fox realizes he can benefit from Roz's mechanical skills and strikes an uneasy truce. She builds a sturdy shelter, and in return, he leaves them alone. The three form an unlikely cohabitation. As Brightbill grows, Roz teaches him essential survival skills. He learns to swim but faces rejection from wild geese, who see him as different. The harsh truth emerges when Brightbill discovers that Roz was responsible for his family's death. Overwhelmed by betrayal, he angrily disowns her, leaving Roz heartbroken and questioning her purpose. After Brightbill's bitter rejection, Roz struggles with guilt and loneliness. Determined to make amends, she repairs another damaged ROZZUM unit for guidance. The reactivated robot insists she return to the Universal Dynamics factory, where she belongs. But Roz refuses. She cannot abandon Bright. Knowing winter is near, she resolves to help him master flight before migration. She seeks out Thunderbolt, a fierce falcon, who reluctantly trains Brightbill in speed and agility. Meanwhile, Longneck, the stern leader of the wild geese, observes their efforts. Impressed by Roz's dedication, he offers critical advice, helping Brightbill refine his flying technique. Through relentless practice, Brightbill finally earns his place among the geese, just in time to join their migration. As the flock takes off, Roz watches silently, her mechanical heart heavy with both pride and sorrow. Without Brightbill, she questions her purpose. For a fleeting moment, she reactivates her transponder, allowing Universal Dynamics to detect her signal. But before they can respond, she shuts it off, choosing freedom over duty. As Brightbill and the geese continue their migration, a violent thunderstorm forces them to take shelter inside a Universal Dynamics greenhouse. Their presence triggers a contamination alert, summoning aggressive Rico robots to eliminate the intruders. In a heroic act, Longneck sacrifices himself to hold off the machines, allowing Brightbill to lead the flock to safety, proving himself as their new leader. Back on the island, Roz and Fink face their own crisis when a brutal snowstorm threatens the animals' survival. Putting aside their differences, they work together to guide the creatures to shelter. Before her power depletes in the freezing cold, Roz urges them to maintain their fragile truce. As she shuts down, the animals honor her wish, forging an uneasy peace. When spring arrives, the island awakens, and so does Roz. To her surprise, the animals have upheld their truce, living in harmony. Even greater joy comes when Brightbill returns, now celebrated as a hero among the geese. His journey has transformed him, and seeing Roz again, he no longer harbors resentment, only gratitude. Reunited at last, Roz and Brightbill embrace their renewed bond. The island, once a place of survival, has become a home not just for them, but for all its creatures. Roz, no longer just a machine, has found her true purpose: to protect, to teach, and to love. Just as peace settles on the island, a sleek retrieval robot, Vantra, virtual observational neutralizing troublesome retrieval authority, arrives to reclaim Roz, refusing to be taken. Roz flees with Fink, but Vantra deploys Rico robots in ruthless pursuit. The island's animals, united by their newfound alliance, fight back fiercely, sabotaging the RECOs with teamwork and cunning. Cornered, Roz is captured by Vantra, who coldly declares her a malfunctioning unit. In a final act of cruelty, Vantra detonates the damaged RSIOs, igniting a raging forest fire. Brightbill, now a fearless leader, launches a daring attack on Universal Dynamics' dropship. While Fink and the animals battle the flames, Vantra forcibly shuts Roz down. But as her systems fade, one signal remains active: her love for Brightbill. This unbreakable bond reignites her core, and with a surge of power, she reactivates. Together, Roz and Brightbill outmaneuver Vantra, destroying the machine before escaping the exploding dropship. As the fire is extinguished and the dust settles, the island stands scarred but free. Roz, no longer just a robot, has proven that loyalty and love defy programming. With Brightbill by her side and the animals looking to her as their guardian, she embraces her true purpose not as a machine, but as a mother, a protector, and a hero. Knowing the island would never be safe while Universal Dynamics remained a threat, Roz made a difficult decision. She would return voluntarily to the company not as a captured machine, but as a negotiator. Before leaving, she promised her animal friends, "This isn't goodbye, I'll come back." With Brightbill's reluctant blessing, she departed. Her systems filled with memories of the wilderness she'd learned to call home. Months passed. On the island, life flourished under the truce Roz had brokered. Predators and prey maintained an uneasy peace, their survival now intertwined. Fink, surprisingly, became an enforcer of this harmony, growling at any who broke the rules. The forest regrew, where fire had scarred it, stronger than before. Meanwhile, at a Universal Dynamics greenhouse, far from the island, Roz worked, but not as the mindless robot she'd once been. She maintained her memories, her personality intact. The company, wary of her strange independence, but impressed by her skills, allowed her limited autonomy. Then one day, wings beat against the glass. The reunion was joyous, the gosling now, a full-grown goose pressed against his metal mother as they embraced through the greenhouse window. Though separated, their bond remained unbroken. Roz whispered promises through the glass, of visits, of a future return, of a day when machines and nature might truly coexist. And so Roz waited, and Brightbill returned, season after season. After season each visit, a reminder that even in a world of steel and circuits, love was the most powerful program of all. The key lesson is that sadness is not a weakness, but a necessary part of emotional growth. Joy realizes that suppressing sadness only leads to greater distress. Sadness helps Riley acknowledge her pain, seek comfort, and reconnect with her parents. The film emphasizes that emotional honesty expressing all feelings is vital for mental well-being. Another moral is that change is challenging but inevitable. Riley's struggle with moving reflects how life transitions can be overwhelming, but accepting emotions helps in adapting. The movie also highlights the importance of empathy, as Riley's parents validate her feelings instead of dismissing them. Ultimately, Inside Out conveys that true happiness comes from embracing all emotions, not just joy. Emotional complexity makes us human, and denying any feeling can disrupt inner harmony. The film encourages viewers to accept their emotions, communicate openly, and understand that sadness, too, has value.